How's it going, guys? All right. Now, weird. My hat is like, the green screen thinks my hat is a. There we go. There, I think I fixed it. Yeah. Okay. Um, so Milena will be joining us soon. But I just wanted to put together those videos for you guys. Now, what you saw at the beginning was a snippet from the new Brady Hate saga, and some of it is unfinished. It'll arrive tomorrow. I just have some few final edits. So when you saw this background in place of something and it didn't make sense, that was just a placeholder I put there so it wouldn't be just all black. And but the actual photos and videos of what I was referring to at the time will be put in its place. So, and the editing will be a little smoother on that too. That was just a rough cut, but I wanted to give y'all something to let you know what I was up to. I was trying to finish it today. I worked all night and every night this week. The episode ended up becoming it's almost an hour long, and the reason it's so long, and I know that sounds crazy, but it ended up taking a life of its own just in the first episode, because it's basically an approach of Tom versus Aaron Rodgers. And the reason Aaron Rodgers is the subject of the first episode is several reasons, but most recently they played in the NFC Championship game. But also a lot of people talking, saying that Rodgers is better than Brady and all this other stuff. And as I was making my points, as I was writing the script for it, I kept stumbling upon more and more points. And those things led to conversations about quarterbacking that wasn't just about Tom and just about Aaron. As I was putting statistics together, it started to become an argument. Like, I would say, why do people think Aaron is automatically better than Tom? Well, they would say, because he can run with the ball. He can throw on the run. And then people say, well, Aaron can do everything Tom can do, but Tom can't do everything Aaron could do. And I had to kind of figure out, first of all, if that's the case. And second, if it is, does that discrepancy matter? Does it matter for Tom? And what I discovered is that it's basically a tale of two things. It's running quarterback, passing quarterback, and if you can do both, you suddenly, according to the media and according to the fans, you are suddenly better and the best we've ever seen, just because you can combine those two things. And so that led me to looking at statistics for quarterbacks and going, okay, is the running attribute, is the idea to throw on the run and be able to run for first downs and stuff, is that essential? Is it so important that it becomes everything the quarterback has to be? And I needed an answer to that. And how I answered that was I used every Super Bowl and every MVP in this century. And the reason I only use this century is because the last 21 years, this is the Brady 8 saga, so that's Brady's time frame. But also, it's just a good, solid line for the modern passing NFL, so to speak. And what I found was very interesting. You'll see that in the episode. I don't want to give away everything. But yeah, that led to some really interesting discoveries that I hadn't even considered until I started questioning it. It's amazing what you can do with numbers and statistics and occurrences when you ask the right questions. That's what I've discovered. It's not only about knowing something or having a view. It's about asking the right questions, and then that leads you to an answer. And sometimes the answer is really, really interesting and really cool. And that's what happened with that. But Yeah. So it ended up being extra long, and I broke down some of the film from the championship game, and that takes a little time. I didn't plan on doing that. That was an ad. Thursday night, I added that in. That wasn't supposed to be in there. I added some film review and some film detail in there, and that kind of took a little extra. But anyway, there you go. I do want to say though, to those of you who are members right now, I know that some of you are on tiers that say that you get a look at the Brady episodes before anyone else. Considering the time constraints for this first episode and the fact that it has to come out right before the Super Bowl, so it has to come out tomorrow morning. I would like to, basically say I'm going to go ahead and release it to everybody and not the tier levels first, because there wouldn't be enough time. There would be kind of no point to do that because the time constraints are bad enough. But I will, from now on, that will be the case. But just this first episode, bear with me and on that. So that'd be great if you could understand. So I know you will. I know you understand the situation. So and I appreciate you guys, and the support here has been amazing so far. I don't want to put out videos that are substandard, subpar, unfinished. I don't like doing that. Any YouTuber can do that shit. And if you're not doing it well, if you're not doing it to the best of your ability, that's a ripoff to you guys, and it's a ripoff to myself, because I care about this, so it means something to me. But I noticed that before the show started, someone asked me about if I think Jalen asked me if Tom Brady can get the Bucs several Super Bowl wins, could they be a dynasty? If the question was if Tom Brady creates a Bucs dynasty, would he go into the Hall of Fame under two teams? Yes, if he was able to do that. But the thing is, guys, is if you're a Patriots fan, or let's say Cowboys fan, or 49ers or Steelers or something like that, you know how hard a dynasty is. You experienced every detail of that. And I know as a Patriots fan, the first dynasty, in the first 3 out of 4 years, from 01 to 04, each one of those seasons is unique. So 01 has its own set of problems and circumstances. For example, the tuck rule had to happen. Then in the AFC Championship game, Tom gets hurt. So we needed a backup quarterback who was capable of actually taking that thing home, which was Drew Bledsoe. So luckily we had Drew. Then we get to the Super Bowl, and then we have Ty Law picking off the great Kurt Warner for a pick six. We have Tom playing a great game, and then we have Adam Vinatieri who can make that field goal under pressure. All of those things had to go right? So then 2003 comes along. It's a different season completely. And you have to hope that things go your way. And not everything is going to be that way. It's just, you got guys like Peyton Manning's Colts, for example, who are in the way, and things have just got to go right. And then you follow that up with another year in 2004, and you run into Ben Roethlisberger's Steelers, who came out of nowhere. The guy gets drafted in the first round, but nobody expected the Steelers to be, 15-1. Come on, nobody saw that coming. So they had to go and face that, and they had to take care of business again, and there's no guarantee. And then they went up against a great Eagles team. And the point is that so many things had to go right. Rodney Harrison even broke his arm in the Super Bowl. So, and you have to make up for those things. It's just so much has to happen. So many things have to go right. One game here or there. A dynasty is so freaking hard. The Patriots went 10 years without a Super Bowl. And in those 10 years, they were able to go to 2 and had an undefeated regular season, and it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough to get that going. And so I'm not. Someone said don't discount Brady. I'm not discounting Brady. Okay, guys, that's not what I'm saying. It's just I understand how hard it is. It's, you know, and what the problem, one of the problems is that the Patriots have kind of, in a weird way, actually kind of messed up the view of sports, of football analysis. And what I mean by messed up is that they've won so much and they've gone so far and beyond anything that seemed possible, or actually anything that even seemed logical. And because of that, we have a whole generation of people who are growing up watching nothing but the Patriots win all the time. And so they think, you know, this plus this equals that, right? So Tom Brady plus Belichick equals Dynasty. So to them, there's no real appreciation for that. They just think that's how it goes. So they go, okay, well, I think my quarterback is better than Tom Brady, and I think my coach is just as good as Belichick or better than Belichick. So our coach plus our quarterback equals Dynasty. And I know that's a very simplistic way of thinking, but honestly, it's really how these people think. And there's people on TV right now peddling this kind of thinking process, this kind of stupid logic that says, you remember Max Kellerman said, well, if Aaron Rodgers was on the Patriots, well, I think Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady, so he'd have to have more success than Brady did. So Rodgers probably have 7 or 10 Super Bowls, right? That is the problem. People have lost sight and have no idea just how damn hard this is. The Patriots should have won 3 Super Bowls straight from 2016 to 2018. Okay? And I say should have, not in the sense that I'm salty or think that the Eagles are not champions. That's not what I mean. What I mean should have is that people were expecting that, and that was a winnable Super Bowl for them, and there's no reason why they couldn't have won that game. That's what I mean. But the point is that even with that, there was a flaw. There was a mess up. And they lost. So they were still able to go to 3 Super Bowls, but even that one, they dropped it. It's just too freaking hard. Something always happens. Something always happens. And sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. I don't honestly believe that the Chiefs fans right now appreciate or even understand the situation that they're in. I think they believe that this is normal now. I think they believe that because they think Mahomes is better than any quarterback that's ever played the game, and they love their coach, Andy Reid. I don't know if they think he's the greatest coach of all time, but they sure think he's one of the greatest of all time. And they think that plus that equals Dynasty. So they have this attitude of, yeah, we're supposed to be in the Super Bowl. Of course we are. And we're going to be in there next year. And we're going to be there next year. Okay? And it's not just the fan base who's taking hold of this. It's the players. One of the Chiefs players, and I think it was Sammy Watkins, or it was referring to him, I'm not sure, so don't hold me to that, but said that, do I want to return to the Chiefs next year? Yeah, it would be nice to get a 3rd ring. A 3rd ring. Well, so what is he saying there? Sammy Watkins has 1 ring. They just won against the 49ers. So what he's saying is that it's a foregone conclusion that the Chiefs are going to win against the Bucs. Sammy Watkins, that's basically the attitude of, This is guaranteed. Yeah, I'd like to get a third ring. If I saw a Patriots player say that, oh my God, I would have thrown up. Like that would have been the dumbest thing ever to say. But they really believe that this is theirs, and it's going to continue. They think next year it's theirs, and the year after, and the year after, and the year after. They have no freaking idea what is in store. One wrong hit to Travis Kelce, and he could never be the same, possibly. Okay? One hit to Tyreek Hill, or not even a hit. It could be just a freak injury. How many ACL tears have we seen from non-contact? We saw Wes Welker just running the ball down the field, no big deal, in a dome, okay, in a dome with perfect surface, just running, crack, snap, ACL gone, okay? That could happen any day. That could happen in practice. What happens then? There's just so many things that they don't understand. What if Andy Reid eats too much barbecue one day and kill over and dies because cholesterol finally gave him a heart attack? Or what if his stupid son gets back in a car drunk again and ends up running his ass over? Okay? Who knows? Who knows? But they thought they had it all in 2018, didn't they? They thought it was theirs for the taking. And everybody believed it. Everybody believed that the Kansas City Chiefs were the champions of 2018. They were going to take it. Patrick Mahomes had thrown for 50 touchdowns. He's playing out of his mind. Nobody can stop that offense, except the Patriots. But nobody else, everyone was having problems with them. Nobody could figure them out. They go into the AFC Championship game. Everyone says the Patriots are finished. The dynasty's over. The Chiefs are going to end it. Tom Brady even mentioned something. He said, "Yeah, I know people don't think we can win any games. It'll be some fun. It'll be fun." You know, that's what Tom said after they beat the Chargers and they were on their way to Kansas City. But that's what everyone believed. And maybe it should have been Kansas City's that year. Maybe. Maybe they were the best team in football in 2018. I could hear an argument for that. I mean, when you've got the MVP of the league, that at least, you know, has some credibility, right? But what happened? They had a home game. They had an AFC Championship game in Kansas City. Everybody knows it's hard to win in Kansas City. They had their whole crowd there. It wasn't COVID time yet. The Patriots had some trouble along the way that year. Some up and downs, some terrible losses to teams like the Jaguars and the Lions. You know, some embarrassing losses. But the Chiefs, it was theirs. It was theirs for the taking. Just, right? What happened? What happened? Gone, just like that. The Patriots is what happened. Tom Brady is what happened. Okay? James White, Julian Edelman is what happened. Dante Hightower, okay? Stephon Gilmore, that's what happened. Bill Belichick is what happened. They didn't account for that, did they? They had all it figured out, all of the analytics, all of the thinking, everything was there, right? The whole process was perfect. They had it all figured out. They didn't account for one simple thing, that they weren't invincible. And they believed they were. So that was your one Super Bowl chance. That was your one Super Bowl year. Every team gets allowed a certain amount of years before that team has to be completely rebuilt, okay? It has to change eventually. So you get only a certain amount of years to appear in the Super Bowl. 2018 was one. 2019, they got it. 2020, they're back in it. If they lose, that's another year that they weren't in there, or they didn't get it. And that's another year now. That's another year on top of Travis Kelce's career. That's another year going into the future. And that's another year that you have to hope you can make it the whole season without anybody getting injured, without losing anyone. And every single year that new year starts, you roll the dice because anything can happen. They just don't know, guys. They don't understand how hard this is. So even with the GOAT, and even with him playing so freaking well, there are too many factors. There are too many factors to say that Tampa Bay can become a dynasty. They have to win one first. And then see what happens. Because the same things I just said about the Chiefs could happen to the Bucs. Bad things could happen. Things go weird. And remember, Patrick Mahomes, he's young. He can afford to have some of those years fail. Tom cannot have some of those years to fail. He needs every single year. So it's a little different situation. Could they? Of course they could. Tampa Bay could. Everybody on that team is freaking young except Tom and Gronk. But Tom, if he's still playing, then that's not a problem. And Gronk is Gronk. I mean, he's not really a passing threat anyway right now. Not like he used to be. So that's not like it's a big issue. He's been more of a blocker, but his presence is still dangerous. He's good for that one gigantic play that's going to be the dagger in your heart, right? But the rest of those guys are still young, really young. I know they've got contracts coming and stuff, but still, if they want to stick together, they can make it happen if they really want to. I think the biggest thing stopping Tampa Bay from doing that, though, is their coach. So, coaching's a big deal, guys. It's important. Just remember, if Andy Reid is not the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, then Patrick Mahomes goes somewhere else. Maybe Patrick Mahomes is in Deshaun Watson's situation. Maybe it's Mahomes that is in Houston, or not specifically, I'm just saying just for an example. Maybe he's the one who's disgruntled. Maybe he's the one wanting to leave. Maybe, whatever. You get my idea. You get my point. But maybe it's not all perfect for him. And he has to struggle. And maybe he has to wait like 5, 6, 7 years before he can get his shot at a Super Bowl. It's also about circumstance. It's always about circumstance, actually. You ready to go?
Just where's that kid log in? 1 second.
Okay, just let me know.
Yeah.
We already have 3 dislikes. I must have said something against. I bet those are Chiefs fans who clocked in. Okay. I apologize if you're a Chiefs fan and that offends you, but the truth is, you know that the majority of the Chiefs fan base thinks that this is theirs. They think that you might as well put their name on the freaking Lombardi trophy. And I'm just trying to say, hey, actually, my advice is actually good advice. My advice is actually helpful to you if you're a Chiefs fan, because it will make you appreciate everything that you've experienced.
We don't take it as given.
Exactly. So are you guys excited or what, man? So it's not the Pats, but it's Brady, it's Gronk. I guess we could say it's in Antonio Brown, but he wasn't really a Patriot for very long, so I don't think of him like that. But yeah. Will I stream during the Super Bowl? Not like I've been doing before. The Super Bowl, I'm going to watch like a fan, not on camera where everyone else sees the play before I do. I can't do that this time. The Super Bowl's too big. But I will be filming. I will be filming us watching the game, and if it all goes good, then maybe we've got a fun video to show you guys. But we will have a pregame show, and then we'll have a postgame show, and hopefully that postgame show is a celebration. So. Yeah, it's fine. Either way. All right. Hey guys, I see we got 101 viewers. Could I please ask you to click the like button and get that going so we could get that spread out through the algorithm? That'd be awesome. So, okay, I think she's ready here. So. Scoot over just a little bit.
To the right?
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So, I bet you want your camera on. I mean, your phone on. Your microphone on. So, there you go. Yeah. You're in business. You're in business now.
Yeah, just wanted to say if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified each time we go live. We will have 1 or 2 live shows tomorrow as well. Pre-game, game, after game. I'm not sure.
Pre-game, post-game.
But
both. Yeah, we'll do both.
If you
hopefully the post-game is a celebration and not a
like
a funeral. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, are there any Chiefs fans here?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. What's your team? Let's put that in the chat, if you don't mind. Just kind of to get an idea of who's here tonight, besides the usual suspects.
Yeah. So if you're a Chiefs fan, make your presence known. Let me know, because I'd like to see what you think is going to go on. I want to see if you disagree or agree with what I was saying. Cyan Kid says, I haven't been watching for long, but what team are you cheering for? Well, I'm a big Tom Brady fan, so I'm going for Tom. But I have to say, I do have a lot of respect for Patrick Mahomes. I like him too. I don't like his teammates that much. I don't have much use for Tyreek Hill. I think he's a piece of shit. And Travis Kelce annoys me a bit sometimes. And I guess I have nothing with... you're asking me who my favorite team is. Oh. A Patriots fan. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were asking about the Super Bowl. So.
Originally a Patriots fan.
Yeah, Patriots fan, but they're not in, so I'm going for Tom and Gronk, of course. So.
I'm a Tom fan. So.
She's a Tom fan, but she's kind of.
I'm kind of a new football.
In limbo,
fan, so
yeah. She's from Europe, so it's not the same. Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
So all I know is, basically Tom Brady is what got me into football. Besides Aaron, of course, explaining everything.
But you do like football, baby.
But yeah, no, I started liking all kinds of other players as well. I have appreciation, and I'm learning more and more about the sport, and helping out here.
You liked. Oh, you were a big fan of Megatron. Actually, yeah, I can tell you. So she started watching football when we started dating. So she never saw the games or anything, but until then. But in 2011, so. Her favorite players then, I remember her excited and wanting to watch. And also, she has a fantasy team in our league. And funnily enough, she is our best fantasy football player. She's actually the GOAT of our fantasy league, which is
Beginner's luck.
beginner's luck, really? Okay. For 10 years?
Well, a bit of research.
For 10 years? 10 years? Okay, come on.
In the beginning when I.
Oh, in the beginning. Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, but you were a big fan of Megatron.
Yeah.
You loved Matt Ryan. You liked Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that specifically. So. Yeah. That's cute.
Jared.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw what Jared said. That's funny. It does kind of look like that. He's right. Yeah, it does. What's that girl from the 80s? I love this show. Punky Brewster? Do you guys remember Punky Brewster? Yeah. Anyway.
I also kind of like the Grimes a little bit.
And Grimes.
From the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But she does, I don't know.
Was I mad when Tom got traded? Well, you mean when Tom left? He didn't get traded, but he moved to Tampa. Was I mad? No, I wasn't mad. Heartbroken? Yes. Yes, absolutely. But
It was he had a quite dramatic reaction.
Yeah. It took a
I
while.
think we all did. But.
It took a while to get over. But at the end of the day, I realized, and I sorry I just used that phrase. I hate that stupid phrase at the end of the day. But anyway, I realized that if Tom had stayed in New England, it would have been just another 2019. Okay? Tom, at his age, every year counts. That's what I was referring to earlier. Every year matters for Tom now. And I think for everything he's achieved and everything he's accomplished, he should be allowed to go and sling the ball, all over the field to guys who can get the ball and get separation, can get out there. And in that sense, I basically see it like this. Tom Brady, the Patriot, retired. Okay? He doesn't exist anymore. Okay? So Tom Brady, the Patriot, he's retired. Now Tom Brady is in the next level of his career, which is, he's in retirement now. And what is he doing in retirement? Instead of going golfing and instead of, maybe making movies or something, whatever that players do, Tom decided to go down to Tampa and have some fun slinging the ball around the field.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it. Because it's not like Tom left after 13 or 14 years. That would hurt. That would suck. Okay? But Tom gave us 20. All right? 20. He gave us way more than anybody would have given their whole career. So 20 is fine. Anything he does after that is, Tom, you do your thing. That's cool with me. And as a Patriots fan, we had to do something. The cap situation was shit. It was always going to be a problem. It was going to come back and haunt us. But it has to be reevaluated, and things have to change. And that's where it is now. And would I preferred Tom staying for my own selfish reasons? Yeah. But at the same time, 2020 would have looked like 2019. We would have gone 12-4, something like that, and gotten bounced probably in the divisional round or some shit. So it's just, especially with Hightower out. I mean, Patrick Chung didn't play, but Hightower's the most important missing piece for New England this year. And Marcus Cannon wouldn't have been there to protect Tom, so maybe Tom gets lit up even more. Who knows? It's so many things, but yeah, I'm okay with it. That's probably a much longer answer than you were expecting, but I do that sometimes.
What's amazing is that everyone thought that, Tom's gone from the AFC. It's like You put him down, he pops up on the other side. Now, right? You look at what happens. Aaron Rodgers was not very happy about it.
No. Aaron Rodgers doesn't find that joke funny anymore.
No. Did you play that at the beginning of the show, before the show?
Yes.
That part where Aaron Rodgers is
Yeah.
smiling or, being happy about Tom.
That joke. Yeah. I was playing it while you were getting ready. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and read comments since there's no super chats to read. My name is Anonymous. Welcome. I like seeing new people here. He asked, Von Allen, what are your thoughts on the fact that some are now saying Belichick is not the GOAT coach because Brady made it to the Super Bowl without him? I say that is completely ridiculous. And I don't know how long you've been following the channel or if you just started. If you just started, I hope you subscribe. But I've maintained this even going back to the beginning of the channel, and you guys can attest to this. I said that it doesn't matter what Bill does after Tom or what Tom does after Bill. They are a part of each other, okay? Everything that Tom is right now, okay, not everything, but a lot of what Tom is something that he learned along the way. And maybe not all of it was specifically from Bill, obviously, okay? I mean, it's not. But I mean that there's parts of Bill in him. And also, the team believes in Tom. The Bucs believe in Tom, and they follow him. Tom can say to them things that nobody else could say to them. Tom can get on Mike Evans' case about running the wrong route when Jameis Winston couldn't have, okay? Tom can do that. Why? Because he's got 6 rings. Because he's the GOAT. Well, those 6 rings were won with Belichick. So everything Brady does is connected to Bill. Everything Bill does. So if Bill goes on to win 3-4 Super Bowls, Tom wins. Okay? Tom is a part of that because Bill can get these players to do what he wants them to do. He can have them running laps all day long. He can have them overworking them, and he can talk bad down to the superstars. He can do all those things because he had Tom Brady winning him 6 Super Bowls. Okay? So it's both. It's a back and forth. They are both. Think about it like this. Your parents, let's say they raise a child and they get the child, they put the child in all kinds of great training programs. The kid's got talent. He's like the greatest ever, right? Smartest kid and all this stuff. But the parents had to put him in those positions. The parents had to guide him and push him, okay, and be there for him. And then when that kid grows up and becomes a champion, the parents are proud, right? The parents, but not only are they proud, but they have a stake in it. They have something involved and invested into it. So think about Bill like a father that is watching his son succeed. And I think that's probably a pretty good way of looking at it.
A father with a very high skill set.
A father with a very high skill set, yeah.
Parents want to help and all that, but they don't know how. They are not trained, what do you call it? Teachers, for example. But Bill is like both,
Yep, exactly. Very good. That's the deal there. And
hey, we have a super chat.
Oh, cool. Because the question, okay, it's like the Matrix. What is the question? Mm-hmm. The question that drives us, the question that we all want answered. Who is the dynasty? It's a question that can't be answered. We cannot go back in time and remove somebody from the equation. So it's impossible to know.
I think it's what they call a synergy,
Yep.
It's like each person, being really good at what they do, but the combination of both of them have a kind of like an exponential effect, and it's greater than both of them separately. Some kind of it's like an amazing match that they were lucky to also have, and that's a big part of the success.
Exactly. So,
and you can't always plan it.
No,
They say, you put Aaron Rodgers on that team, and he's an amazing quarterback. He has all these stats and all this, just as a quarterback, but somehow he doesn't have, the number of rings that people expect.
And he had a good coach. He had a good coach for a long time. The NFL passed Mike McCarthy behind. Okay, that's what happened. But 10 years ago, Mike McCarthy was a very appropriate coach for that time. So don't judge McCarthy now based on back then, because things change. It's like Joe Gibbs. In the 80s, Joe Gibbs won Super Bowls with three different quarterbacks. But in the 2000s, the game wasn't the same. He had trouble. Mike Shanahan won 2 Super Bowls in the 90s with the Denver Broncos, but Mike Shanahan on the Redskins wasn't the same coach anymore. It just wasn't clicking. But Rodgers did have a good coach, but Belichick's better. Okay? That's the difference. And Aaron Rodgers is a good player, but Brady is better. Brady is superior, and that's what happens. And what Milena is saying is that you take one away, you've got a Super Bowl. Maybe you've even got 2. Okay? But you put them together and you rule the universe.
Yeah.
Okay? You become the Empire from Star Wars.
Yes.
That's the level here. So the drop from splitting them up, the high is so high that if you split them up and they drop, they're still higher than anybody else. That's how crazy this is. So
it's a good experiment now with Tom Brady and the Bucs to see what happens so far. He's proving himself being, of course he's Tom, but a lot of times we're like, where's Bill? Where is Bill right now? We need Bill here with him, because.
My God, okay. If Bill Belichick was coaching this team right now, this Bucs.
Moved to the Bucs.
I know. Well, we can't give him up. But if I'm just saying, if Belichick was coaching this Bucs team, if he had come with Tom, okay, let's say that the Bucs general manager calls up and says, "Oh yeah, we want them both," and they both went to Tampa Bay. Now we're talking a dynasty, okay? Now it becomes much more realistic, but.
Now it looks like something.
It's something different.
That was.
Yeah.
Just like of a name,
But at the same time, who knows how it turns out, because the problem with Belichick in analyzing his impact is that he's also the general manager. So to analyze the coach is one thing, to analyze the general manager is different. And that's when people could argue, well, if he was general manager, he would have gotten rid of a lot of players on the Bucs. Probably there's certain players he would have gotten rid of. I think he would have traded Mike Evans, and that probably would have pissed Tom off, actually. So who knows what would have happened. But yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's hard to tell.
Did you say we had a super chat, right?
Yeah, we had a super chat. Lord Vash.
Lord Vash, all right. Straight from England. A 5-pound super chat. Lord Vash says, "Hey, Von Allen Sports, where's Wentz going to land?" A Carson Wentz question. Where's Wentz going to land? You think it'll be a Stafford Goff-like trade where Eagles give up a number 1 player to sell off the contract? Yeah, I do. I think someone is going to pay. It's not that they're paying for Wentz. The Eagles are gonna have to pay a high price to get rid of that contract and to get rid of him, and someone's gonna take a shot at him. But the Eagles are a disaster right now, and it's just that whole thing. And their head coach, he tried to get fired on purpose. I never seen something funnier than that, but he wanted the hell out of there. Carson Wentz is a trap. Jared Goff was a different situation. Jared Goff, it's not Jared's fault. It's not Jared's fault that he was declining and not producing. That's the fault of Sean McVay. That is everything to do with Sean McVay. Now, Sean McVay is part of the quarterback culture right now. I mean, the coaching culture that likes to pretend like they're quarterbacks. They want to be the guy on the field. They think they're the guy on the field. So guys like McVay, the moment he got Goff was a rookie, so he had no say. Actually, no, he was second year. But he was young, he was new, and he had no say to decline anything. So he just did what McVay wanted. McVay made it to where Goff would get the plays, and he would rely solely on the coach. And what happens when you do that is that Goff never actually learns how to play quarterback. He never learns how to lead a team. He never learns how to make decisions for himself. And whose fault is that? That's not Jared's. That's McVay's fault. And McVay is part of that. That's that whole culture right now of quarterbacks. Anybody who is, pissed in the same urinal as McVay for longer than a week is now getting head coaching jobs. You've got that, all these guys getting, and not just McVay connections, but just young guys, inexperienced idiots, because people are trying to copy what McVay, they think McVay did. Of course, McVay's Super Bowl appearance had a lot to do with his defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips, but I guess nobody wants to talk about that, right? But Carson Wentz is different in that he wasn't strapped down like Jared Goff. And I just don't think he's a good leader. I don't think he has it. I don't think he has what it takes to be a great quarterback in the NFL. And I think he's going to end up somewhere random. It's going to be a Brock Osweiler situation where he gets dumped to a team and what they really want is a pick, or they want something out of it, and they're just trying to get rid of him. We'll see. So. The Bears, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But anybody who takes on Wentz and his contract, the Eagles are going to have to give up. They're going to have to give them something to do that. So, because anyone taking Wentz is also taking the contract, and they know that. They know that's the deal. Any team who pays for Wentz as if he's an asset, stupidest team ever. So it sounds like something the Bears would do, right? Who knows? How good do I think Stafford's going to be as a Ram? Oh, man. That all depends on McVay, doesn't it? Like, is he going to want to try to, control Stafford? Or is he going to let Matt be Matt? And if Stafford can be himself and run the show, he's going to be pretty good, man. He's going to be pretty good. That's going to be interesting. But if McVay pulls that shit that he pulled with Jared, which I don't think he will this time. I don't think he's going to be able to pull that off with Stafford, because Stafford controlled where he went, and I'm almost certain that this conversation was what took place. Stafford didn't just say, okay, you can send me to LA without talking to McVay, and something had to have been said. So maybe it's a mixture. Maybe they agreed to do both. And we'll see. But yeah, I think Stafford's going to be good in the Rams. Is he going to get to a Super Bowl? No. But it's good for him to get the hell out of Detroit. Nobody wants to be in Detroit. If you're from Detroit, no offense, but it's a shithole. So. But Yeah, McVay would talk till the headset turned off, and then there'd be plenty of delay of game penalties. Exactly, Tyrus. Exactly. Cool name, by the way. That sounds Roman. Tyrus Ivory. Dude, you sound like a freaking gladiator. Doesn't that sound like a gladiator? Tyrus Ivory. Exactly. Death to the opposition.
Death to the opposition. Our new T-shirt.
If that's his real name, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Pedro?
Hey, Pedro. Welcome. Welcome back, I mean.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of Bears fans, and one of a big Bears fan is Lucas McQuay, who is actually a moderator for our Von Sports Facebook page. Man, he takes a beating every year. I feel sorry for him. I felt bad for him when they, it's like imagine take not only did you take what the hell?
Huh?
I just my head went blank with.
Oh, okay, that happened.
What? Jesus Christ.
It's like, wow, you're human.
What the hell? What is wrong with me?
Hey, it happens. Every once in a while, human beings forget something. I know you don't, but hey.
Not normally, no.
One time, you have a glitch. Most men think they're robots anyway.
Oh, okay, Tyrus said it's his real name.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome, dude. You got a badass name.
It is.
Oh, look at that. We have a keyboard cowboy.
Huh. What happened?
Some little boy masquerading as a girl. There's no way a girl would.
Sorry.
Heather Booger. Yeah,
Booger?
there's no way a girl would be that rude.
You're
So.
fucking stupid, you know, fucking crap. Okay. Since you're
Holy
so smart,
shit.
can you tell us something? Because we want to learn something.
I'm here
that
to
is
learn.
not stupid.
I'm here to
I would
learn.
like to learn some information about football.
Pedro got diagnosed with COVID. Damn.
Anyway. Oh, no, I didn't mean to laugh at that.
No, I know.
Time out.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to what I was talking about, Mitchell Trubisky. Imagine being a Bears fan, watching your team take Mitchell Trubisky, and not only did they take him early, but they traded to do that. That's gotta hurt, right? So, yeah, I feel bad for them. And like Shaq said, most Bears fans I've met are really, really cool people. Pedro, get better, man. I hope everything works for you.
Yes.
Sorry you've got that. It sucks. My dad had it. He said it's a bitch. It's miserable. It's like the flu plus extra discomfort, whatever that means. But yeah, you'll get better though. Bill Murray, I was talking about Mitchell Trubisky. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Donnie's here. Hey,
Donnie. What's
Yeah.
Donnie?
Yeah.
What's up,
that's
Donnie? Haven't seen him in a while. Where's he been?
How's it going?
By the way, Donnie, when I wanted to tell you, when I get back, we're going to try to set up, we're going to have like a dedicated studio set up, hopefully, and the Patriots helmet that you gave me that would belong to you and your brother in the 70s, that's going to be one of the
Hall of Fame items.
Yeah, Hall of Fame items.
We're
One of the
gonna have our
centerpieces
Yeah.
there, along with some other cool football memorabilia. So I'm so glad you sent me that, because that's going to be perfect for the background. So yeah, I did hear about Andy Reid's son. One thing I do know about Andy Reid is that his kids, don't know which ones exactly or how many, but they've been in and out of the news for bad things the last 15 years at least. I think one of them even killed themselves or is dead or something. I think. But yeah. But in this case, this particular guy's case, what I heard was he was drinking. And now a kid is in critical condition, might die. I have absolutely no sympathy for people who get drunk and drive a car. Especially now when Uber, Lyft, a cab. I mean, a cab was always available, but now it's even easier with Uber, and you have no excuse. If you go out drinking, you need to leave your car or whatever, or maybe if you know you're going to go out, maybe you take an Uber or something like that. And I know that back when, some of me and my friends, we'd go to sports bars and stuff. We would take public transportation. So we'd either get a cab or something, and I don't think Uber was around then, but we would take a cab or a train or whatever was available because we didn't have to worry about it. If we were going to go to a game, we would take the transit to a game. So they could all drink, they could have fun, and we don't have to think about it. We don't have to worry about it. We can just have as much fun as you want, and you can't get in trouble, and you can't hurt anyone. And this guy was drinking, he got out there on the road, and now a kid might die because of it. Fuck him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the problem is when, most people when they drink, you cannot tell a drunk person that they're drunk. They're like, I'm okay, no problem. So you have to kind of know in advance, I'm drinking tonight, I'm not driving. Designated driver, another solution, whatever. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers is here. Hi. He
Oh shit!
No, he's rooting. Who are you rooting
Sorry,
for?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron.
If you remember, Aaron. He's a Bears fan.
Wait, I'm kidding.
No. That's Aaron. That's the Bears fan.
I know who it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So, I was just talking shit about his team, but I think Aaron would probably agree with me. Sorry, man. The front office in your team is shit, and I think it's your owners. It's not really Virginia. Is she even alive? Anyway, the daughter of George Hallis. It's not Virginia. It's her children. Okay? It's her son. And they are idiots. So, yeah. And actually, the Bears have a good coach. That's the thing. The Bears have a good coach. I think he's a pretty damn good coach. And they just need to get it right. They could just never get a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT, is back. He goes, we might get Carson Wentz, and yes, the Bears are shit. See? Told you. Bears fans always agree with that. It's just ironic that we have a guy here named Aaron Rodgers. It's his name, and he's a Bears fan. Of all teams, he's a Bears fan. I mean, how perfect is that? That's like being named Tom Brady and you're a Jets fan or something. Like, that's... Yeah. What the hell? So... Virginia is still alive. 98. Damn, man. Crazy. I would like to talk to her, though. I mean, she can remember the founding, and she can remember her dad and everything about him and his decisions he made and stuff. That would be a great conversation. Pedro asked me who I prefer as a quarterback for the Pats next season. Well, I will tell you this. Arthur Blank is pissing me off because about a month ago, Arthur Blank said Matt Ryan and Julio Jones is tradable. And that got me excited. So people were saying that Matthew Stafford was connected to the Patriots, maybe. Matt Ryan was connected, maybe. And some other guys. And that gave me hope. So when Matt Stafford was sent to LA, well, that moved a piece off the board. And I thought, okay, that's one guy closer to getting Matt Ryan. And then all of a sudden, Arthur Blank announces that he's not trading Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Okay, well, maybe he's full of shit. Maybe he saw what they got for Matthew Stafford, and maybe he's trying to play the game of, I want to now take it back and make them not available to raise the value. It's stupid political thing inside the NFL mentality, but I mean, a guy should be worth what he's worth. It doesn't matter what, But it could be that. But if that's the case, I want Matt. Matt Ryan is the perfect spot to take over for Tom. It's a seamless transition. A guy who fits all of the elements that you like in a Patriots quarterback and that you would want for the Belichick way. I mean, he's not Tom Brady, but what are we going to say? Nobody is. So there's nobody that's going to do that. But we can try to replicate the attributes and some of the intangible things that you look for in a quarterback, and I think Matt fits that. And as many years as left as Belichick probably wants to coach, Matt Ryan has left, I believe, in good years of playing, so it should work perfectly. Bill doesn't necessarily need to look for a rookie quarterback and groom him and for the next 15 years. That's not necessarily what Bill needs to even think about or worry about. He just wants to win now, I think. And I think he wants to beat Don Shula's record, and that's going to take him a few years. But he can't, if he wants to beat Shula's record, that is, if he does, he can't afford another down season to let some idiot rookie quarterback learn how to be a professional. Can't afford to do that. So. Yeah, Marcus, that's interesting about Andy and focusing on the game. I wonder if that's going to. I don't know necessarily if it will matter though. Like I said, Andy has had trouble with his children for a long time. Maybe at this point he's kind of not immune. Of course, it bothers him, but I mean, maybe he kind of knows how to manage it. And besides, I bet the game plan was probably installed last week. Maybe they'll do some customization, the last 2 days. But I think, for the most part, they kind of had an idea of what they wanted. So. Hello, Lenny. Welcome. Yeah, Shaq. Watson gives you LeBron vibes a little bit. Doesn't bode well to just air your grievances like Newman from Seinfeld. Yeah, I know. And that's kind of a weird situation, isn't it? So.
Hey guys, if you're new here, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when we go live. We will be having some live shows tomorrow, pre-game, post-game, and yeah, so we hope to see you. And let us know what your team you're rooting for. I don't know.
What the fuck?
I got confused.
No, I didn't. What happened?
With?
Did you see LeBron crying about the NBA wanting an All-Star game? No. What?
Oh.
I ignore everything basketball basically. So, what's the deal? Yeah, a lot of people are going with the Chiefs. They have the better record. They're the number 1 seed. They've been strong in the last, few years. It makes sense. I mean, I'm not surprised. I tell you what's interesting though. The spread, the Vegas, it's Kansas City with 3, I believe, unless it's changed. But the last time I saw the line, it was Kansas City with 3. So that's pretty damn close, guys. Marcus, you're a Falcons fan? Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping to be able to steal Matt from you guys. So. Nightwalker, man, you get better, okay?
Yes.
25th surgery, that's
See you
crazy.
Tomorrow. I mean, I hope. I'm sure.
He was whining. Okay, so here it is. LeBron was whining that they had too short an off season, 71 days. You make tens of millions of dollars, and for a recreational activity, you aren't getting tackled. Well said. Yeah, Marcus. When Matt Ryan was drafted, when I was evaluating the quarterbacks for that year, I thought Matt reminded me of Tom. And it just so happens that he was playing for Boston College. So while he was at the university, Tom was winning Super Bowls. He had already won Super Bowls, I guess. But the point is that they were great, and he got to watch Tom play. So maybe he took some things from that too. But also, Matt seems to have a natural that natural thing that Tom's got as well. So that can't be really taught. But yeah, so I've always had my eye on Matt. He's always been one of my favorite quarterbacks, and that's the reason. So, holy crap! I'm gonna get this right. Becca Sharmadzi. How was that? Becca Sharmadzi says hello from Republic of Georgia. Tbilisi City.
Tbilisi, yeah.
From Georgia. Holy crap. How did you find this?
Maybe because we're broadcasting from Europe. Говорите по-русски.
Nice. Yeah, we're still in Bulgaria. But Becca, that's awesome. All the way in Georgia, that's crazy. I've never actually met anyone from Georgia. But they speak Russian, right?
Well, they do.
Yeah.
They may speak Georgian as well, but I know a lot of them speak Russian.
They should speak Russian. I mean, it was part of the Soviet Union, so yeah.
I don't know how it is nowadays.
Okay. Yeah, I knew, Becca. I knew you guys had a Georgian language, but Milena, Milena knows Russian, so I was thinking, I bet you probably understand Russian, or at least, yeah.
And you use the Cyrillic alphabet.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
I think so. So.
Yeah, I've met some people from there. In the United States, I've met some people from Georgia.
Cool. How long have you known about the channel, and how'd you find it? I'm just curious.
Gruzia.
Omar, good for you. Oh, Omar, what is the national language in Georgia? It's Southern? It's Southern Atlanta, Georgian. I'm from Georgia.
Yeah, I'm from Georgia.
I'm from Georgia. Yeah, there you go.
The funny thing is, I once met a lady from Georgia when I first went to the United States a few years ago, and I couldn't tell accents very well. I mean, to some degree, but that person sounded like she was foreign to me. I had asked her, "Where are you from? What country are you from?" She was like, "I'm an American."
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
Can I give a PS5? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Can I give you a PS5? Is that what you're asking?
Who did that?
Well, I don't have one myself, so I'm a.
Who's saying these things?
I don't know. Someone named Andrew. I just sometimes we get funny comments.
Yeah.
So
PS5. Not even sure what that is.
look what Donnie said. Donnie says, "I can speak Georgian." How y'all doing?
Yeah, that.
How y'all doing? Okay, that's interesting. That's a very cool looking language, actually. I like that. All right, so we have a lot to talk about as well because, yeah, we have the game and we're going to have a pregame, of course, tomorrow too. But there's some other things I want to talk about. As a lot of you guys might know, the Hall of Fame finalists have been announced. And, of course, you've got the top. You've got Peyton Manning, which they said took about 12 seconds. The 12 seconds must have been, we are nominating Peyton Manning for the Hall of Fame. Everyone in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, that probably took 12 seconds, right?
There's a lot of trolls here tonight, guys. I just wonder what team they're rooting for, because I see a common denominator. Usually stupid people like that root for a certain team I'm not going to name. It's just, something to think about when you go and say stupid things on someone's channel. I don't know, it's just silly. I'll just remove you and that's it. Why are you doing it? Is
it football related?
No, they're insulting us. They're insulting you on your looks and stuff. It's like, what the hell?
What the hell? What's wrong with my looks? What's wrong with my looks?
How the fuck do you look? Do you look like a, I don't know, supermodel? Because I want to see that. And I bet you don't.
Okay,
so
well.
Don't say silly things because you're pissing me off.
I can tell you this.
Anyway, I'm just.
After a very, very long music career, I can tell you.
See, like 4 people said some kind of bullshit and show like stupid children that don't even look good. Because a good-looking person, a smart person, never says silly things like that. So look in the mirror, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because it's past your bedtime. I know. God.
You usually.
Today. You know how you get excited about football and things like that? I'm like, sometimes stupid people are like,
Usually, well, historically for our channel, when we get a troll or hater, whatever you want to call them, they're the same person.
Yeah, it looks like
it's one person with different accounts. Yeah, because You don't just get one every once in a while, and we could go weeks without getting one at all, and then you get one that says something, and then you get four more, on top of that. It's the same person, whoever that is.
Same person.
Yeah.
But now you saw my rant, and I'm just warming up. Right.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't mind trolls who are talking shit, football wise.
Football related.
I don't mind that. So don't go ahead and let them say what they want to say. But if it's just personal,
it's not football related.
if it's not football related, just
it's about meth and I don't know, and it's a kind of
about
bullshit.
what?
It's not an intelligent conversation to even mention. So go away, find some other people like you to talk to, because here we have people that we like to kind of talk, discuss football.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about looks.
I get it. Okay.
How silly, overweight, or whatever you might be.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Okay. Anybody who is not overweight, okay, is either have something wrong with them or they're on drugs, or yeah. That's always been.
I bet you're like a supermodel, because if you really were, you would have the dignity not to talk like that.
That's
to other people. Even if they didn't look good. So. It's bullshit.
I have bad news for them though. In Europe, people look like me.
No, I'm not saying.
And they're not on meth, so I don't know what that means. Okay.
Back to football.
But yeah. If it's football related, if it's football related, it's fine. I don't mind. So.
Yeah, you can tell us how amazing the Chiefs are, or whatever team, or how Patrick Mahomes is gonna, is the biggest GOAT of the world and the galaxies, if you want, which is amazing to hear because, some people in the audience are gonna laugh about it, but, don't tell us some, irrelevant, stupid things that are not intelligent even.
So, going back to, so we can get back on track here.
Yeah.
Whoa, actually,
What?
Milena,
What?
we have a problem.
What is it?
Look on the screen. Look at the comment I just posted from some random Patriots fan.
Bulgarian?
A VAS loyalist said this.
Oh, boy. Sure. Okay, we're going to have another session of
What's going on here?
Lesson. And I'm going to discuss where the alphabet originated.
Okay, I'll make it quick.
Okay, but never mind. Yeah.
Romanian and Russian are actually variants of Bulgarian.
Yeah.
It's different. So it's funny. No, most people don't know that actually, but
Yeah.
But I know what you meant. I'm just kidding with you. I'm just having some fun with you. I'm a tryhard. Says Chiefs are the best. 100%. Are you a Chiefs fan? Tryhard.
Prove it. Tell us why.
Tell us. Are you a Chiefs fan? We need a Chiefs fan because we can't get anybody who will admit that they're going for the Chiefs. It seems like everybody is going for the Chiefs, but nobody seems to be getting on here and mentioning it, which is interesting. So. Yeah, Omar, I heard Stephen A. Smith call Mahomes the modern day GOAT. What does that mean exactly? Does anyone know what that means? What does that mean, modern day GOAT?
Baby goat, I heard someone say.
I like baby goat.
Baby goat sounds good.
Baby goat's funny. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Did you guys watch the interview?
Baby goat.
I mean, the interview with Tom and Mahomes. That was interesting. I mean.
You mean where they were together and they? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 5 minutes of Tom Brady complimenting Patrick Mahomes.
Yes. And
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes being a little bit of a starstruck, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too. I thought that was cool.
In a good way. I mean.
Yeah, Patrick wasn't being a douche.
Yeah.
He was totally appreciate. In fact, when Tom kept talking, Patrick had this like laugh and smile, like he didn't know what to. Like he's like, this is awesome, I can't believe it. So yeah. Daniel Revere says, I will go for whatever team Tom Brady is not on. Okay, so then, yeah, you're definitely going for the Chiefs. Yeah. Brady is the GOAT, and Mahomes is the kid, the baby GOAT. I like that. That's fine. Baby GOAT's fine. So. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you guys... I don't know. I don't know if you guys know or heard, but the Saints have reevaluated Drew Brees' contract, or redone it, not reevaluated, redone it, and they pushed it all the way down to veteran minimum, which was basically his salary. His salary, original salary, was like NFL contracts are very odd. They're not like other sports where it's just one lump sum and it's just that amount and that's it, and there's no other crap involved. NFL likes to make it very complicated, so they have all kinds of different ways of paying somebody. And you've got your base salary, you've got your signing bonus, you've got a workout bonus, all kinds of dumb bullshit. And anyway, so they stripped all of that down, which actually equaled a $25 million payday. They stripped it down to his base salary, which is like 1 point something million, nothing. And that was in order to lower the cap hit. So whatever happens now, whatever Drew does, whether he retires or whether they release him or whether he's traded, whatever it may be, now the dead cap hit, it won't be so bad. So right now he's got a cap hit. Going into the new league year, he'll have a cap hit of $12 million, which is much better than it was before. It's pretty good. So people are posting that this is a sign of retirement. Normally that's the case. But it may not be the situation with Drew. And usually when I look at, try to anticipate what a quarterback's going to do, or not just quarterback, but quarterback is like kind of my specialty. It's like the thing I follow the most. But any player, if I want to know what they're going to do and what decision they're going to make, I look at other factors, not just them as a player, but I look to see what their family says and see if you can find anything that their family may have commented on that can give you a hint. If you look at the team's situation and what they can afford or what they can't afford and all those things. When I looked into Drew's situation, I found that his wife has been posting things in the manner of, basically, she's been posting things that says, I'm trying to excuse why Drew had a down season, and it's not because he's old, it's because of XYZ, and he still can play, kind of thing. Okay, that's the kind of defense that she's been coming for him, trying to imply that he still wants to play. I believe he still wants to play. I think he is hoping somebody reaches out to him. So he may be wanting the Saints to reach out to him. He may want the Saints to say, listen, we need you back. We want you back, but we need to figure out how to make this work. Or maybe he wants to play somewhere else. Okay? Now, we have to factor that in. A few years ago, I would have said no. But after watching Tom, are you telling me that Drew Brees isn't thinking about it? Are you telling me that it's not crossed his mind? After what he's seen, the quarterback's moving now. He sees other teams looking for quarterbacks. You don't think it's on his mind somewhere? So I'm not ready to say that he's finished until we see it, until he says he's done. But this has all the makings of a Brett Favre type thing, and not in the sense that he's going to retire and then come back and then have a big fiasco. That's not what I mean. I just mean that he feels like he can still play. He feels like he wants to still play, but he's retiring for other reasons. Maybe because he thinks the team wants him to retire. Maybe, I don't know. It could be a million things. But I believe that Drew Brees is not done. I think that he's going to try his options at coming back. Now, if those options may be closed to him, and if they are, then he'll retire. But what I'm saying is, I think he's going to attempt to try to return. I don't think he wants to be done. I think he wants to play again. So, basically, that's, you can kind of gauge how people think and how they feel. They usually do things through other players. Their family members. They're the ones that get the information, the private information, and then kind of do it through them as a mediator, so the player himself don't have to communicate that. So, yeah. He might be, Shaq, he might be done with the Saints. But that victory lap could have been saying goodbye to New Orleans. It doesn't necessarily mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that he wants to be finished. So, yeah. Am I streaming after no, not during the Super Bowl, but I'll have a post game, absolutely. So, Chad, if Drew does go to another team, of course he would come back and retire as a Saint. But yeah. What's with all these random dickheads tonight?
I don't know.
What's going on?
I feel like.
And where's my moderators?
Yeah, no, there are people. Wasn't it very similar when we had the Chiefs at another Super Bowl? We had so many trolls.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it was. It was last year. Yeah.
Is there a connection? Is there a correlation? Are there a lot of silly fans? Because we attract. I mean, the people who are trolling right now and are active are normally Bucks or Chiefs fans.
Well.
So I just remember that from another year.
I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't
fans,
think that people from Kansas City would be. Maybe they're not from Kansas City though. They're probably just Mahomes fans and stuff from other places. But yeah.
But
you have to remember though, a lot of people hate Tom. They hate Tom, and if you support him, they basically hate you the same way. It's the same thing exactly. So.
I think that's just some random people today. That
Bill,
we normally don't get on the show. That's why I'm like.
Bill, you think that these idiots were watching that far back in the beginning of the show when I was talking about that? But like I said, what I was saying about the Chiefs fans wasn't a bad thing. I'm trying to tell them that you need to enjoy what's happening. You need to understand how great that is and how exciting it is, and it may never come back again. There's no guarantee that you'll make the playoffs ever again. Something tragic could, it's anything. So it's just, I'm sure that the Cowboys thought they were going to dominate the entire decade of the 90s. You know, they didn't see coming that Jimmy Johnson was going to be taken from them, and eventually yeah, they did get an extra Super Bowl out of it, but it kind of just went worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But at the time when they were winning their second one, it seemed like they were unstoppable, and they were just going to continue to bull rush through, So it happens. Things happen. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have noticed something, Bill. When someone speaks the truth about football, if you are not overly complimentary, and if you're not completely kissing the ass of whatever team they root for, if you're just trying to give a different perspective, let's say, it won't work. It won't work. If you say one little thing out of place, like I could spend 10 minutes talking about how great the Kansas City Chiefs are. But if 30 seconds of that 10 minutes is me criticizing something, then everything I said for 10 minutes that was great is completely dismissed, and now I am the enemy, and now I become, the target. Just like that. It's really weird how football fans are, and I don't know how fans of other sports are really. I'm not really sure, but I do know that football fans are kind of weird when it comes to that. So. Yeah, David, exactly. The Bills losing 4. That's a good example. You go to 4 Super Bowls and you don't win one of them, and you would think that's gonna last forever, and it's just not. It's just anything can go wrong. So. Why is this fucking idiot still talking?
Well, that's another person.
What-
I don't know.
Just get rid of these people. It's
I
the
think
same.
you're joking.
It's the
It's
same
like-
person over and over again. So
Yeah, I think they're.
Yeah.
I don't think they're for real.
yeah.
Cause who talks like that? My mama says that. I don't think so.
I don't mind football trolls. I don't mind.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. If somebody is like insulting Brady or the teams or whatever, but it has nothing to do with the game, just fuck off, please.
Yeah. It's like, have some fun. There's some other channels where people have fun by saying stupid things. Maybe. I think.
Well, it might be good for TikTok or some shit with 16-year-olds. I don't know. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
This is a football show.
Yeah, I mean, and emotions are high now. The Super Bowl coming up tomorrow.
That's not about
like,
that.
Where's your?
It's not about that.
Yeah, but I want to see those emotions in the chat.
Oh
not
yeah. I
that-
would like to, but we can't. We have not gotten one credible Chiefs fan here
No.
to even talk about their team.
Yeah.
Not one.
Exactly.
So, Donnie, take a piss, sends a $20 super chat. Man, thank you so
Donnie.
much. He says, Aaron, in order to call you, I need a membership, right? No, Donnie, you've
You were an exception.
yeah. You've sent like so many super chats over the years. It's like, no, you don't need a membership. Not for you. Can you elaborate on membership benefits for me and your viewers? Want you to see those bumper stickers I made, man. They're in the mail vault in LA. I know. Trust me, I want to go home and I want to see them so badly. But yeah, thank you for asking. So the memberships, it's just tier levels. I don't know if you're familiar with like Patreon or something like that, but the higher levels you pay for, you get different types of benefits. And in this case, we have a thing where you can call in, you get the private link to the show, so we don't do Skype or anything like that anymore. It's a private link, particularly to get rid of idiots like the ones that you see today from calling in on Skype.
Imagine if they called in.
So, well, they don't have the link, so you would have to pay for it, basically. So the idea of being a member to call in is, if you're willing to become a member, then you're probably a sincere person who wants to just be a part of the channel and you're not a jackass. So That's why we made it like that. It's not actually about a paying thing. It's more about knowing that you actually are going to call and have a good conversation and not just calling to be a dick. I think we had a lot of trolls like this once during Kobe Bryant's. We had a Kobe Bryant special when Kobe died, and for some reason they decided to call in on Skype and keep calling back for that show, which is weird actually. But it just shows you how pathetic and shitty people are. But it's easy to be tough. It's easy to talk shit behind fake accounts and
keyboard
fake,
warrior.
fake names. You don't have to show yourself. You don't have to reveal who you are. I've yet to still see any troll who's been willing to do that. So, it's part of how it works here, and we're not at that level where we can just screen everything, and not yet. But so that's the deal. So if you get a membership, you you get that link. But for you, Donnie, that's not necessary. I would like you to be a member just so you're a part of the club, a part of the group there that I send private messages to and private posts and stuff. For that reason, I'd like you to be a member, but it's not required. You have done more than I could ask for from a subscriber.
Yeah, and also I was just going to mention is that we
I'll be right back.
Yeah, specifically, not just specifically for Donnie, but for anyone who wants to become a member, we have lowered our membership. So any level, I think the lowest level is $1.99, and you still can get some of the perks and call in and be able to call in and be part of that as a member. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Shaq posted the link. We're gonna repost that, and we will be talking on our next shows more and more about the membership and some of the things we're doing. But again, it's not a requirement. We appreciate everyone here. It's just an extra.
Oh shit! Hang on. Yeah, and we're gonna put out a video eventually for the membership.
Yeah, we're gonna explain more. Again in other shows, how it works. What are some of the benefits and fun things we're doing, and and there's gonna be a video about that too. So.
Yeah. So if someone, I don't know how to get that link to Donnie.
I mean, Shaq already sent
Oh,
it.
okay.
But if Donnie wants to reach us, we have your email. I think you have our email.
Shaq, if you could get the link to, definitely don't post that link here.
Don't post it here in the chat.
Yeah. So,
but
if you can get that to Donnie, so he can.
Oh yeah.
He can call in.
To call in.
Yeah, if you would like. Here we go. I think we have somebody. I think we actually have a Chiefs fan that's not completely fucking insane.
Which one?
Jenny. Or Jeannie.
Jeannie?
A girl. Of course.
Jeannie. Chiefs fan since the beginning of time. There, though, the good and the bad and the ugly. Patrick Mahomes, a breath of life for us old timers. Love Chiefs player Derek Thomas.
Oh shit.
Thanks for that.
Derek Thomas, man.
Yeah.
You are okay, so you're old school, then that makes me old school. Okay? I remember Jeannie, I remember I was an Oilers fan when I was a kid too. I loved Warren Moon, and watching the Oilers were supposed to win a Super Bowl. I mean, they were primed to win a Super Bowl, and they go into Buffalo wild card weekend, and they dominate them. Okay, they put up over 30 on them in the first half. I mean, this is a wipeout. This dude, backup quarterback, okay, for Jim Kelly, comes in. Frank Reich, who just happens to be the head coach of the Colts right now. But Frank Reich, backup quarterback, comes in, brings the Bills back, beats the Oilers 38-35, rips my heart out, right? I'm just a kid, and I didn't take it well. I mean, when you're a kid, you think the whole world, any little thing, the whole world is come crushing down. But it's okay. The next year was the year. That was the year that they were going to correct it. Everything was going to be fine, and Buddy Ryan's defense was clicking. I mean, they got 11 straight wins at the end of the season. They even beat Steve Young's 49ers. I mean, they were awesome. Well, guess what? Run in, have to go play the Kansas City Chiefs, run into a guy named Joe Montana. Oh my God. That sucked. And to make things even worse, I mean, let's say Derek Thomas was psycho, man. I mean, the dude was just lethal. Him and Bruce Smith. I mean, those two guys were some of the 90s. They were probably the two best at what they did. You could throw in a few other guys, I guess, but definitely throughout the 90s, Derek Thomas was on there. Yeah, by the way, rest in peace, Derek. But yeah, he was one of my favorite players back then, and I loved Montana until he ripped my heart out and then for your Chiefs, and then took out the Oilers. And basically, your Chiefs and Joe Montana and those guys, they killed that Oilers team. That was the death nail that ended that Oilers team. And after that, it split apart, and then they ended up moving to Tennessee and becoming the Titans later on. But that was the end of it. That was, yeah. So if you're old school, then you'll definitely remember that. So. What a breath of fresh air! An actual someone who is a fan of the opposition and not a dick. So
And not a troll.
yeah. So welcome, thank you, and I hope you subscribe as well.
Yeah.
Don't be confused. I do like your quarterback, and I think he's got all the attributes to be one of the greatest ever. He's the attribute that Patrick Mahomes has is not his greatest asset is not his throwing power. It's not his ability to run. It's not playmaking. That's not his greatest asset. His greatest asset is what I see on the sidelines. Leadership. When I see a player galvanizing his guys and psyching them up, telling them we're going to win, and they believe him, that will last forever. That lasts a whole career, okay? So whether he loses arm strength when he's in his 15th year, or whether he can't run, get out of the pocket like he used to when he's in his 12th year, whatever it is, that asset, that ability is what's going to make it for a 15, 18, whatever career that he could achieve. That is the thing that is going to keep him being great, not the physical attributes. It's of the mind, the ability to read the defenses, to know what's going on, to anticipate, and to lead. That is because that is what makes Tom Brady Tom Brady. It's not the physical gifts as much as it is all the other stuff that accompanies it, because physical gifts run out eventually and they start to deteriorate. You've got to replace it with other things. You got to be smarter. You got to be a leader. People have got to believe in you, and if they believe in you, they'll help you. It's a big circle. But that, I think, is Patrick's best attribute, and I don't see that. And if, in case people are wondering, why am I so hard on Carson Wentz? Why am I so hard on Deshaun Watson? I don't see it. I don't see it. I do not see that they have what it takes to have a long, great career in this league. They don't. They just don't have it. And there was a guy, okay, that you guys all know. Thank you, Daniel. There was a guy that you guys all know that was the greatest thrower of the football we had ever seen. Okay? This guy had talent coming out of every part of his body. All right?
Did he have torque?
Oh, he had a lot of torque. In fact, he's the inventor of torque. Okay? If anybody invented torque, it was Dan Marino. All right? But Dan Marino was a shit leader. Okay? Absolute terrible leader. He was selfish. All he cared about was his stats. He was I don't know, maybe he's the original stat whore, okay? But he had all the talent in the world. And how many guys come along that have talent like that, right? But he lacked those other qualities, the leadership, the intangibles that you can't look at a stat sheet and go and write it down. And he never got a ring.
That is
Never.
incredible, huh?
Yep.
I mean, it's just...
So I'm just saying that you can be as physically gifted as you want. You can have all the talent in the world. You can even have a stacked team sometimes. What's it going to get you if you can't adapt and have all those other attributes involved? Being a quarterback is not just a position in football. It's not just focusing on passing the football. Dude, it's everything. You are expected, if you want to win, you are also expected to be like a coach. You're also expected to be kind of like a big brother figure, you know? So the mental part of it, the psychological aspects, even off the field, you're expected to do all those things. You got to be good at all of that. And you got guys like Carson Wentz who are just not good at that. I mean, how many reports do we have out of the Eagles locker room that said that they preferred Nick Foles because Carson Wentz was a dick? Because Carson Wentz thought he was better than everybody else? Because he was talking shit about Nick Foles in private, saying that, oh, I'm a better quarterback than Nick Foles, I would have won the Super Bowl too. That kind of shit, all right? When you act like that, the players talk, and they don't want to follow you anymore. They don't believe in you anymore. So Wentz can be as talented as he wants to be, however talented he is. What does it matter? Right now, there's an Eagles team trying to get rid of his ass. That's where it got him. So went from being Mr. MVP if he didn't get injured in 2017 to now people want to dump his contract. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's what I see in Deshaun Watson right now is this kind of, this kind of attitude. If I was a team on a team right now and we were about to get Deshaun Watson, do you know the very first thing I'm thinking? When is he going to quit on us? Right?
I was laughing at something else. Someone was asking, what's the score so far? And then Aaron Rodgers goes 0-0 because the Super Bowl is tomorrow. Oh.
You just don't know. I mean, maybe they're from
No, I'm not laughing at the
somewhere
person
else.
asking. I'm laughing at the answer.
Oh, okay.
Aaron Rodgers gave. He's like, the score is 0. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. What were you saying?
So I was saying is that Deshaun Watson, okay, so he's expected to lead his team. And the situation in Houston is not as bad. It's not as bad as... thank you, Danny. Appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And Danny's a cool dude. He's been here every week for like the last several months, I think. But Deshaun Watson, the situation in Houston is not as bad as other quarterback situations. It's not as bad as the Jets have been and Detroit, okay? How long has Matthew Stafford been in Detroit rotting? All right? Right? How long has he been there? How many times? that he was hoping that they were going to do something and they couldn't get it done. The Houston Texans have been in the playoffs several times in the last few years, even before Watson came there. So that means the organization was doing something. It was getting some things done. They had a great defense. They had J.J. Watt. They had Jadeveon Clowney for a while. They had both of them together at the same time for a while. You had Andre Johnson, a lot of great players. You guys remember Arian Foster? But the organization wasn't that bad when Watson came there. And he's acting like he's trying to get out. He's trying to leave the Detroit Lions, all right? He's acting like he's trying to leave Detroit or Cleveland. And that is just not the case. I am not saying that Houston is the best organization in the world, but it is certainly not the level that he's making it out to be. So he signs a big contract last year. Houston gives you that contract. When they pay you that kind of money, you were saying, as a player, you're saying, okay, I don't want to risk getting injured. And if I have a big career-altering injury, that I might not get this contract. So I'm going to take the money. I'm going to take their money. And then it's my job to deliver, to be a leader. That's why you're getting paid more. People always say, oh, the quarterback, he gets paid more because he's the quarterback. That's why he gets paid more. Because he's more than just a facilitator of the football. He's more than that. They're expecting you to be the buffer between the coach and the general manager, the ownership, and then the locker room. You are the messenger. You are the guy that makes sure that the higher-ups and everything that they want to do trickles down to the rest of the team. That's your job. You take their money. You don't like Bill O'Brien. Yeah, he fucked the team, okay? But he was an employee. He's gone now. They're trying to do something new. They're bringing in new people, and it's your job to see that through. What is he doing? He's trying to get out. He's trying to leave his teammates. So let's say he gets traded to another team. Let's say he goes to the Jets, for example, okay? If you're a player on the Jets, what are you thinking? Okay, yeah, cool. We got a good player, but what if we suck in 2022 or 2021? Is he going to leave? Is he going to quit on us? How can he ever think that anybody's really going to 100% believe in him like they believe in Tom or like they believe in Patrick? Okay? If those guys say something, they all believe it. They all believe it's going to happen. Watson is... I cannot get on his side about this at all. I think it's ridiculous. You just signed that contract, dude, and now you're trying to get out. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. So he doesn't have that thing that I say what I see in people. Patrick has that. I think Patrick is probably the only young quarterback right now who does have that. Except, well, I don't know enough about him. I need to see his leadership skills, but as far as playing skills, I like the kid on the Chargers, and we'll see what this Trevor Lawrence kid's all about. I've heard good things. I didn't watch him in college much. You guys know I don't watch college football, but he looks like he could be promising. We'll find out. Jared tells me that he's a bit overrated, but and Jared knows college, so we'll see. Yeah. I like Herbert so much. So, yeah, Wilson, but Wilson's not. He's been in the league for a while. So, I'm talking about the young guys. So, the really young guys. So, but yeah, absolutely, Jalen. Russell Wilson has that, sure. But that's what's missing for a lot of these dudes, these young kids. You're giving them $30 million, you're giving them $35 million, and they couldn't lead a horse to water, okay? I mean, it's just, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Danny, yes. I completely forgot about Josh. But I see that in Josh, absolutely. Yeah. That's going to serve them for a long time. Although he probably needs to stay away from throwing the football at people's heads. So that was kind of stupid. He did that in the championship game against Kansas City. I know that the Chiefs were getting under his skin. That's why they were getting under his skin. They knew they could. And you've got to be able to not do that back. So. Yeah, well, they're all, Danny, they're all divas. I mean, they get, listen, do you guys know how these guys get treated in college? Okay, so these quarterbacks, they don't just become great quarterback, high prospects in college once they get there, all right? Most of them. Tom Brady is a rarity, okay? That's a guy barely makes it the team in Michigan, gets on there, he's seventh string. That doesn't happen. He's the exception. But the rule is these guys were groomed from very young. So they played pee-wee football. They played junior football. They played high school football. And they were probably good then. And all of you guys know, especially as guys, if you can play quarterback in high school, and if you're good, your life is a lot different. You're treated like a celebrity. Okay, at school, you're like the it thing. You're the man. It may be a small little world, your little high school, but it's your world. And for the students there, it's the whole world. And you are the leader of it. You're the guy that everyone loves, and you're king, right?
Oh yeah.
And then these colleges come to your house, and guys. Famous college coaches that everyone knows comes to your house and is sitting in your living room with your parents, trying to convince your parents why you should be at their university. When you're 17, 18 years old, it's kind of hard not to get arrogant when you see famous college coaches sitting in your living room begging your parents to have you sign with them. Then you get to college, and everything is just even bigger. The whole university is handed to you, but now, not just the university, they put you on SportsCenter. They get you to interview on big shows that professionals get to do. You are basically a de facto professional football player, except you're not getting paid. But in every other sense, you are. You're playing in front of 80,000 people at sold-out games. You're doing all the big interviews. You're wearing all the Nike clothes and the endorsement stuff. You're getting free shit. You're getting free shoes, free shirts, free everything. Everywhere you go, people love you. You're signing autographs after every game. You're a de facto professional. By the time you get drafted, you must think you are a freaking god. And then, when we pamper these little fucks, by the time they get to the NFL, we're all sitting there going, why are they so arrogant? Why are they acting like this? Why are they demanding all this stuff? What's their problem? Oh, maybe it has something to do with you kissing their ass since they were 5 years old. How about that? There's your answer. And then you have the rare guy, okay, who is a son of an athlete, probably an accomplished athlete, who gets it. Because their dad probably had to work through the trenches to get there. And he instills in his son how to be a pro. And that's someone like Mahomes, okay? His father was a baseball player, professional baseball player. So Patrick grew up, and his dad instilled in him how to be a professional. This is what you got to do. This is what it takes. This is how you conduct yourself. This is how you handle things in the media. But these other kids, the Matt Leinarts of the world, who already grew up in a mansion somewhere in California, okay? He ain't got respect for anybody And I bring up Matt Leinart because he was drafted to the Cardinals, and I was around at the time. He told some of the guys in the locker room, he told Edgerrin James, okay? I don't know if some of you guys remember Matt Leinart, but he told Edgerrin James that Kurt Warner was in, like, he would be doing everything Kurt was doing. Kurt took that shitty team to a Super Bowl. And I mean, the team was good, but I'm talking about the organization. The Cardinals organization historically was shit. And then he was going behind his back and telling guys like Edgerrin James, hey, Kurt, it's not that big of a deal. I would be doing that. In fact, this would become, well, why didn't you do that, Matt, when you had the team? Because you were the starter first, all right? Kurt was actually his backup. And then you sucked. And you stunk it up on the field every week. You're the guy that lost to the Bears on Monday Night Football in front of everybody after you had a lead because you sucked so bad. That guy, okay? He thought, I'm the quarterback of USC. I'm the greatest thing that California's ever seen. Watch a documentary about the USC Trojans and the Texans Longhorns about that year. There's a good documentary on Netflix about it. I think it's Reggie Bush who even says this. Right? Or maybe, no, it wasn't Reggie Bush. It was his the other running back. He got drafted to the Titans. Can't remember his name right now. But he was Reggie Bush. He was like the power back for the team. But help me out, guys. I don't know what is going on with my head tonight. Lindell White. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Jared. Awesome. Yeah, Lindell White said that, man, we were rock stars. Okay? They were being invited to red carpet events in Hollywood. They were celebrities, man. They're just kids. They're just 18, 19, 20 years old. They're babies. Imagine, guys, right now when you see a 19, 20-year-old, what do you think about them? You're like, wow, they're so young. They got so much ahead of them. These people were being treated like that while going to school. So Matt Leinart thought he was God. And he comes into the Cardinals locker room and he doesn't know what it is to lead. He's got Kurt Warner, a 2-time MVP and a Super Bowl MVP in that locker room. And that dude and Kurt was working his ass off every single day. Kurt was on the practice field every day. What was Matt doing? Matt was fucking off. He was in the weight room fucking off. Okay? He ate like shit. He never did anything correctly. He was always getting in trouble. Constantly had girls and stuff around him and getting caught at nightclubs in Phoenix. Constantly hitting strip clubs and shit like that all the time during the season, unfocused, while Kurt Warner is there every day, 5 a.m., leaves 5 p.m., every day. 2-time MVP, Super Bowl MVP. If anybody has earned the right to fuck off, it's Kurt Warner. But he's the man doing there. And what happened? Kurt took his job. And after Kurt took his job, Matt Leinart never started again in the NFL. That's the difference between these guys. Was Matt a good quarterback? Sure he was. That's why he got drafted. All these guys are good quarterbacks in college. I mean, that's why they get picked. With a few exceptions, of course. But they were good college performers, good college athletes. It's the mind. It's the decision making. That is what ruins their career. That's what derails them. Almost always. Of course, you got exceptions with crazy injuries, and that's not what I'm talking about. Like RG3, for example. RG3 got fucked over, okay? That wasn't his fault. He could have been a great pro, but he's not who I'm talking about. But a lot of these other guys have this mentality. There's too many Matt Leinarts, okay? There's too many Matt Leinarts and not enough Tom Bradys. Not enough guys who had to crawl, scratch, and claw their way up, okay? Not enough. I feel like I'm giving a sermon right now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But hey, cheer up with something. There's Jared's comment.
Then there's Chris Sims. Oh, God.
Oh,
Can I go off on Chris Sims, please? Is that okay, guys? I mean, are you following me so far? Or I feel like I'm preaching. I feel like I'm on a pulpit right now. Okay.
Yeah, if it's not the rant, it's the preaching or some kind of, But does anybody want to call from Legion or anything? Just want to know. I just want to make sure we invite them.
Well, they're always invited.
They're always invited, but
they don't have to be invited.
Like wondering.
They're
having doubts.
It's understood. Any member can just call in.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
So
let's talk about Chris Sims. Let's talk about Christine Sims.
Can we start with a song?
Okay. Which one?
By Chris Sims.
Which one? The Aaron Rodgers one or the Josh Allen one?
Wow. We have a selection. I didn't know we had the whole CD.
Yeah, he's coming out with an album next year, I heard. Yeah.
We have EP, Aaron Rodgers EP.
You won't be calling Aaron because Aaron Rodgers, as long as Tom Brady's in the NFC, I don't know if he's going to get anywhere. So, yes, that was a shot at you, Chris Sims, if you're watching. Okay. Remember when I said sometimes you can grow up and have that kind of life where things are set up good for you. And because your parent is an athlete or somebody like that,
makes it a lot easier.
It makes it easier, right? It makes it easier. But you can choose to use that and do what it takes to be great. So there's two types of guys. There's Patrick Mahomes type. His dad taught him how to be professional, and he follows that, right? There's the Peyton Manning, and hell, even Eli Manning, okay? They're the son of Archie Manning, who isn't even a Hall of Famer. He was on a terrible Saints team. Good quarterback, pretty good quarterback, but, nothing Hall of Fame worthy or anything like that, okay? Never played in a Super Bowl or anything. But taught his kids how to play. And Peyton and even Eli, even the Derp, won 2 Super Bowls. Okay? And then you've got Chris Sims. Chris Sims. You grew up in the locker room of the New York Giants. And this isn't just the New York Giants. This isn't just any New York Giants. This is Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick's New York fucking Giants. Okay? Your dad is Phil Simms. Your dad is a Super Bowl MVP. You get pampered all the way through your childhood. You go to college. You get to pick where you want to go. You're sent to you go to Texas. You play with Mac Brown. And everyone is saying that you are the next Peyton Manning.
What happened?
What happened is he's Chris Sims. That's what happened. You suck. He sucks. Okay? And right now...
Is it just talent that he's lacking, or he was lacking, or...
It's mentality. It's mentality.
Yeah.
Of course he had talent. His father's Phil Simms. I mean, that has to count for something. Okay? But he believed in his own hype. He bought into it. He didn't think he had to earn it. He didn't think he had to work for it and lead for it. And there's somebody, Jared, that is an expert on Chris Sims' college career. And he's actually given me a lot of insight into Chris Sims' career, college career. But the dude had the world handed to him right there. You couldn't have a better advantage. You couldn't have a better situation.
Yes.
I mean,
to all of that.
Eli and Peyton weren't even sons of a Super Bowl MVP. Okay?
Yes.
What the hell? Even Eli and Peyton didn't get to hang out in a locker room around Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells and Tom Coughlin and Lawrence Taylor and guys like that. I mean, I'm sure they got to hang out with the Saints, some, or not even Eli. I don't even think Eli was born yet. But Peyton was, for sure. But he's probably too little to even remember. But then you've got the Chris Sims of the world.
Yeah.
And total failure. And why is he a bigger failure than other quarterbacks who fail? Why is he a bigger failure than, let's say, Nathan Peterman? Okay? People always picking on Nathan Peterman. Why is Chris Sims a bigger failure?
Yeah, why?
Because he had a head start.
Yeah.
He had the head start, and he squandered it. These other guys had to get there and work for it, and they didn't have everything always that Chris had. Chris had the advantage, and you couldn't even make it. You couldn't even last. And the only reason you even got to play for Tampa Bay is because your dad was Chris Sims. And now the only reason you've got a job on NBC is because your dad is Chris Sims, or Phil Sims. Sorry, Phil. Your dad is Phil Sims, and that's why you've got a job. So he's still cashing in on daddy's name.
Yeah.
And if you thought Phil Sims was an annoying commentator, his son is 10 times worse. God forbid.
You got a stereo scene.
Yes, God forbid he would ever get to call games one day. That would be a nightmare. It would be a freaking nightmare.
Hey, we have a couple of super chats.
Danny.
And then
$20, damn.
And then underneath that, below that, he says, he says, love and appreciation for your work, AE.
Oh, thank you, Danny. I appreciate that, man.
See that? Under, see it twice.
Awesome. If you have if you have any questions or anything, I'll post them up here.
Yeah.
And answer them for you. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
And then you have,
Hell yeah. Did you say?
See it twice?
Okay, I'll go back to that one. See it twice. $5 super chat. He says the only thing about Chris Sims that is Manning-esque is his enormous forehead. Yeah, I can agree with that. There's nothing else there, other than they were sons of pro quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know, I'm as a lot of you guys probably know, I was a big fan of Drew Bledsoe. And I didn't want to let go of Drew when Tom Brady took his spot. And I'll admit that, okay? There's not very I've only met maybe 2 people in my life who legitimately knew that Tom Brady was going to be great when he was in college. And one of them is actually here tonight, but he'll probably get mad at me if I mention him and put him on the spot. But he knew that Tom was Tom in college. And now he didn't say that Tom was going to win 6 Super Bowls, be the greatest of all time. That's not what he meant. He just said that he saw something in him, like Montana type, kind of thing there. So, but I didn't know that. And I was a Drew Bledsoe guy, through and through. And when Drew didn't get his job back during the regular season after he was healthy, I was very confused, very like, what the hell's happening here? Disappointed. Just, I was mad at Belichick. I thought Bill Belichick is a dipshit You know, like who does he think he is? That kind of thing. I'm a 90s Patriots fan, and that's the Bill Parcells, Drew Bledsoe Patriots. And that's kind of where my mentality was. Drew comes in the second half of the AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh and finishes that game. And we win and we go to the Super Bowl. Up until then, I still thought Drew was going to get the job. He was going to get his job back. And he never got his job back. But as the years went by, we started to find out more information that had come out. Drew didn't help his situation. He refused to buy into Belichick's ideology, the way he wanted to coach, which was, through you, I'm going to chastise you. I'm going to hold you accountable more than anybody else in the locker room. And you, more or less, are going to filter that through, and everyone else is going to see that and take notice. Now, it's not something Bill probably says literally. It's just something that happens. It's just what's expected. Bledsoe didn't want any part of that. Why? Well, he was the number one pick overall. He was the head of the Patriots. He was the face of the Patriots. He's the guy who brought them out of the old Pat the Patriot losing, that they were losing a lot in the late 80s and early 90s. And he brought in with the new logo and the new look and everything. That was Drew. Drew feels like he was the rock of that. And this guy, Belichick, wants to belittle him and do something that you're not supposed to do to a starting quarterback. And not just a starting quarterback, but a guy who was number one overall and who was just paid $100 million. And then you've got Tom Brady, who was on a high school team that never won a game and he didn't even get to play. He was on a University of Michigan where he was the seventh stringer, and then by the time he got to play, he kept being pulled during the game, and then it would have to go back in for Drew Henson, who, by the way, was a Matt Leinart type, the type I was talking about, the one that gets everything handed to him. And yeah, Drew Henson was a talented guy, but he was being given chances that Tom wasn't being given. And Tom had to deal with that. By the time Tom got to New England, he was willing to do what anybody told him. Yes, sir. No, sir. Absolutely. Bill wanted to do it that way. Tom says, okay, let's do it that way. No ego. No preconceived notions about, I'm the greatest. How can you talk to me that way? How can you do that to me? Don't you know who I am? That kind of shit. Yeah. Tom didn't have that. Drew did. And look what happened. If Drew let's suppose that Drew bought in 2000. Maybe he does get his job back after he gets injured. Maybe he does. Because a part of the reason why Bill was looking at Tom in 2001 and already, he went ahead and started Drew anyway, partly to do with Mr. Kraft, but he was already looking at Tom, but he was looking at Tom because of the 2000 season, because there was already tension with Drew Bledsoe. But if that tension wasn't there, if Bledsoe bought in and they maybe had a better record, maybe that changes things. So, maybe not. But I do know this. Ego had something to do with it. Drew didn't want to be treated just like another guy, and Tom was willing to. And that's pedigree right there. That's upbringing. That's how you were taught as a person. It's also what you had to give up and what you had to sacrifice to get there. And these new guys, these kids, they don't, most of them. And this isn't a new thing, by the way. This is a thing that has been going on forever, it seems like. There's always been that superstar kid who gets everything handed to him stuff, but now it's worse than it's ever been before. And the reason it's worse now than ever before is because of social media. Because once you're famous, you're mega famous. Famous, like crazy famous. And it's just everything is bigger. And that's when you get the Cam Newtons of the world and people like that. That's what happens. Guys who aren't willing to jump on a fumble in a Super Bowl when you were on a drive that could have taken the lead and you don't jump on it. Those kind of guys. Or Tom Brady who jumps on a fumble in the preseason. A guy who's already won at the time 4 Super Bowls jumps on a fumble in preseason and gets completely crushed by a bunch of dudes. And the other guy? No. I don't feel like getting on it. I don't think so. It's not worth it. Sure.
Yeah. It's not the Super Bowl.
If Drew had bought in and everybody was on the same page and the chemistry was correct, we could have won a Super Bowl. I don't know how many or which ones, but Drew is a great quarterback, and he doesn't get enough respect. But he never got his job back. He never got to show that. He never got to show that he could play with this dynastic type team because he didn't want to buy in. He didn't want to let go of it. So the rest is history. Yeah, to have a player, to be a coach, your first year was a disaster. So you're 5-11, and so you're worse. Your record is now worse than the guy they just fired to get you, and his record was better than yours, and that's bad. That's a bad look. And then the next year you start up, and then your owner loves Drew Bledsoe, gives him $100 million, and then you don't even give him his job back? That takes some balls. That's risky, guys. It's very risky. Because if that fails, if they didn't make the playoffs, hell, if they had lost that Raiders game, who knows what would have happened? Could have been the difference. But to Tom's credit, he never did give that job back. He never did anything to make the Patriots think that he couldn't be the guy. Guys, normally I can research stuff, but it taxes the computer and the internet when I try to search something, and I don't want it to interfere with the live broadcast. But they said that they were going to announce the Hall of Fame finalists, the ones who got picked. Can you guys check and see if that was released? I would like to know, because if it's already been released, I don't want to speculate. There's no point in doing that.
Check says not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay. Keep an eye on that, because I really want to know. They're going to do it at 9 Eastern. Okay. So what? In 10 minutes?
What time is it now?
Yeah, in 10 minutes. Okay, cool. So I'm going to stay on a little longer then, because I want to know the exact list. And then because I've got some things to say about some of these guys that I think is going to go in. Oh shit, I forgot about that. The award show's tonight. You know what would be funny? I don't know who they got, but if they didn't, they should have got Steve Harvey so he can bring back the joke that he made 2 years ago about if Tom Brady wasn't living, y'all could be in the Super Bowl. And now because Tom's in the NFC, the joke has flipped. They did get Steve Harvey. Yes. Yes. There is no way he doesn't revisit that joke. There is no way. If he doesn't bring that joke back, then he missed a golden opportunity.
He will.
He's got
hilarious.
to. He's got to. He's got to. Yeah. Please, Steve Harvey, please do that. That will be freaking funny. He could even go farther because the guys in 2018 who he was blaming, who didn't get it done, he said, can't y'all put y'all money together and have him killed? Well, a lot of those guys got paid since then. Okay? So, what's your excuse? Like, what's the deal here? So, you got more money than you could ever ask for. What's your excuse now? That could be a good joke. Yeah, Steve Harvey's been my favorite. My second favorite was Keegan, Michael Key, the guy from Key and Peele. I thought he was funny. I liked when he was saying, tomorrow's Super Bowl will be between the New England Patriots and the
Other team.
pulls out a piece of paper. The Atlanta Falcons. That was pretty good. So, and I remember there was another joke he had that was really funny. Oh, it was famous fans of the Atlanta Falcons is Samuel L. Jackson, Usher, and Ludacris. And fans of the Patriots are people who would lock their car door if they ran into Samuel L. Jackson, Ludacris, and Usher. I thought that was funny. So. Danny, really? I mean, he was joking, but yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. That joke, him saying, haven't you thought of having him killed? Okay? That is the biggest compliment. That is the biggest compliment you could give Tom Brady. Yeah. I mean, that joke, it's the ultimate compliment. It's
maybe he could have used different wording,
Maybe,
but
yeah.
That sense, in that sense, yeah, it's good.
But the overall idea of it was Steve Harvey saying, this dude is so ridiculous, you're going to have to actually murder him to stop him. Because he's not going to retire. He's not going to give up. What do you have to do?
Unstoppable.
Yes, what do you have to do to stop this guy? So, but yeah, I guess I could see. TikTok tailgate? What the hell does that mean?
Mm-hmm. I wonder how that will work with a tailgate on TikTok.
If Tom Brady wasn't living, y'all could be in the Super Bowl. Dude, that is such a slap in the face. I mean, Andrew Luck is sitting in the crowd. Deshaun Watson, AFC guys is what I'm mentioning. Patrick Mahomes is there. Baker Mayfield. All these AFC dudes. I mean, that is just a punch in the throat. But now it's Aaron Rodgers' problem. Now it's Drew Brees' problem. Well, if Drew Brees returns.
They were laughing at the joke before.
Yeah, Aaron thought it was funny, guys. Oh, that's so hilarious. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And of course it's funny. And Aaron thought it was funny because it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't apply to him.
It didn't apply to him. Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Aaron, about that. But like I said, if y'all heard the beginning intro, to Aaron's credit, he did say when the announcement was made about Tom going to Tampa, Aaron did say, I have a feeling we're going to end up meeting in the playoffs. So, and that ended up happening. Yeah, he was shaking his head. That you shake your head because it's one of those jokes. It's like, damn, that was cold. But like, damn, that was a good one. That was a good joke. That's funny. But it wasn't about him. And you saw Dak. Dak was enjoying himself. He was just like, what? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Dak. Well, if you're a Cowboy next year, that's going to be your problem now. So. Andrew Luck is, I've heard that he's coming back. I'm not surprised. I figured he would. We'll see. It's not definite, but there's rumors that he is. But he'll be a Colt. So there's speculation. Speculation about what team he would go to is pointless, because when he retired, the Colts let him keep his money. They didn't do that out of the goodness of their heart. So he'll be a Colt no matter what. But that frees up Jacoby Brissett, so we could see where he goes. Oh, Shaq, I would love Luck as a Patriot. Absolutely. Oh yeah. He's got the Patriot mentality, the mannerism, the temperament, the intelligence. That's a big thing, because of how everything is, the expectations for you, and you have to handle so much. Andrew Luck would make a good Patriots quarterback, but the Colts, he comes back, the Colts are not giving him up. So no way. Have I been to Detroit? Dude, yes, I was referring to downtown, obviously. It looks like a nuclear bomb went off there. The suburbs, yeah, I'm sure they're nice. That's the suburbs, yeah. And Michigan's a nice state, yeah. But I'll tell you a little secret though, Dave. LA isn't that nice. So if you talk about Hollywood showing the dump parts of Detroit, LA is one of the biggest lies in America. And there's only certain parts. Like if you live like West Hollywood, but the West Hollywood, like not even the eastern part. You have to live in West Hollywood or Beverly Hills or something, or Hollywood Hills, just right in that area. Brentwood. But if you live in Brentwood, O.J. Simpson might try to murder you. But that whole area is nice. But the moment you go outside of that, for the most part, it's shit. Okay? And unless you live on the ocean, the weather is shit. So if you go inside to LA, like East LA and central, towards central LA, it's like northern LA. It's like a desert climate, okay? It's hot, it sucks. And the further north you go, the worse it becomes. And by the time you get to the north tip of the LA County, it's like a desert, right, Milena? It's like where Roman lives. So in LA, you've got to live in there's a very small cutout area that you can live in that's okay. But the rest, it's all a big lie. So I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it when I moved there. I was shocked. I was like, wait, I thought LA was supposed to be perfect. I tell you what, a good looking city I saw was Miami. That city's nice looking. Dallas is pretty good too. Dallas is pretty cool. But yeah. I mean, we can get talking about how Detroit and LA and cities like that become so bad, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, Ozymandias. Yeah, San Diego's nice. Yep. Can you please get rid of this?
Oh yeah, I did. It's bullshit again.
I take care of it myself.
Trolling.
How many accounts does this guy have?
I don't know if it's the same person.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of times it's the same person, yeah.
Yeah, see it twice. I see that you're referencing back to the. I think you're referencing back to the Bledsoe Brady thing. The situation is kind of like this. It's kind of like in 2014, if Brady had gotten injured and Jimmy Garoppolo started playing well towards the end of the year and Tom didn't get his job back, we'd be all up in arms, right? Like we'd be all like, are you kidding me? You know, it's a little different, of course. I mean, Tom has won Super Bowls and stuff, but Drew was the guy. I mean, he was the fan favorite, and we all supported him. And that was kind of like the idea that this young kid, like, who are you again? Why should we care about you? It was that kind of situation. So, never been more happy to be wrong, though. I'll tell you that much. So. Oh, okay. Well, it still gave me a good talking point. You guys have your own little internal conversations, and I don't. Sometimes I can't see. It might pass, and I don't see it. So. Okay, it's past the hour, and has the list been released? Mm.
30 minutes.
Jalen, the difference is not. No, it's the same as far as Drew Bledsoe was the face of the franchise. He was the man. He was everything to everybody, and Tom was this kid we picked up somewhere, and that's that's the deal, So people were loyal to him. Yeah, me and all New England. Exactly, Danny. That's interesting, David. If Brady had played for the 49ers last year and played Mahomes, the 49ers win. Yeah, the 49ers win that game. The 49ers got all the way to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo barely having to throw a pass. Think about that. Now, what if you had Brady instead? Brady on a team where the quarterback has to barely throw. Really? Come on, man. That's... It would have been ridiculous. It's just... KC did not play a good Super Bowl. All right? They didn't play that great. Just one second. Are you done for the night? Are you coming back?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Actually, Danny, I didn't give my prediction yet. Oh, I tried to give one the other day, but I think I've changed it. This is going to be a great game. It's going to be... $34-31. Bucks. They're going to win it with a field goal. Ryan Suckup is going to get the winning field goal. I don't know if it'll be at the last minute or if it'll just be the difference maker, like the score differential in the end. But so that's what I'm going with. 34-31. What do you guys got? She's coming back, Danny. She has to stand up. She can't sit as long as I can with my... I don't know why I can do that, but I sit weird anyway at computers, so I'm used to it. So
3 hours.
Jalen's got Tampa 45 over the Chiefs 35. Wow. High scoring. Yeah, really high scoring. Ooh, See It Twice is going with Kansas City. Interesting.
No.
34-27. Donnie Vincent's got the Bucks 38-36. Wow. 2-point difference. That's interesting. That's gonna require somebody missing an extra point or something. Or maybe, yeah, to get that kind of score, yeah. Yeah, someone's going to have to do something. Or they're going to have to be so behind that they go for a 2-point conversion and then fail. And that puts them in an awkward number. So Danny's got the Bucks winning 32-30. Tampa Bay instead of Tampa Bay. Okay, I like that. I'll go with that. Tampa Bay. Sure. Tapasio, there was no such thing as baby goat back then. You're right. There was nothing. It didn't exist. Like, people didn't talk that way. In fact, when I was younger, I don't remember people talking so much about who's the greatest quarterback of all time. It wasn't that that conversation didn't come up quite a bit. I mean, there was just great players that we liked. You know, there was like, you know, Joe Montana and John Elway and Dan Marino and Jim Kelly, and you know, I liked Warren Moon at the time. There was Randall Cunningham. And people just they were all kind of the same. Like they were just great players, great quarterbacks that everyone liked. And nobody spent a lot of time on this whole goat, who's the new goat, who's the next goat, and all that stuff. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Mahomes can achieve what Tom's achieved, that is extraordinary. I mean, do you know what would have to happen for all that to happen? It's just so many things have to go well and go right. And if he could do that, then damn, man. So it's not going to be easy. It's damn near impossible, actually, I think. Why do people keep asking about Green Day? What the hell? Do they have a song called VAS Live or something? Do they have a song called VAS? What's happening here? I've seen several people now ask about Green Day. Where's Green Day? Okay. Well, I mean, it's cool that the algorithm is putting us up there. So, yeah, Dave. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You know, Andy's had trouble from his kids for a while now. Eli. Eli's there. Doesn't sound like they're going to be announcing it until the end, probably. So.
We probably should not stay until the end.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's a big day.
I've got to finish the episode. So. Actually, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Why don't you guys watch the NFL awards show? And enjoy that while it's on. So, thanks, Daniel. Just 1 second. Okay, your microphone's back on.
Oh, it's back on. Yeah, we have a big day tomorrow, guys. So I think we should kind of take a break and and watch that Hall of Fame award show.
be right back. Just remind everybody about everything that's going on.
Yeah, so what part? So what do you guys want to talk about? I'm kidding. Basically, tomorrow we're going to have a pre-game show, and he's going to announce the time. Unfortunately, I don't know yet what time it's going to start. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified when we go live. We're also going to post a link, certainly, and in the community section, also on our not web page, but the Facebook page. There's going to be a link to the live shows tomorrow as well. And then during the game, what are we going to do during the game? We cannot broadcast the game, of course. So we will either we'll probably just watch it together like we did last time. Just watch it and, do some commentary. However, we cannot broadcast the actual game, so you're going to have to watch it on another device like us. And then we're going to have a post-game show. I think with Shaq. Shaq, are you going to be on tomorrow, I assume? So it's going to be a very, very stressful and exciting at the same time day. Tomorrow, I don't know what you guys think, how you guys feel right now, but I suppose the huge fans of those two, well, on one part, one of the teams, like the Chiefs, huge Chiefs fans, Mahomes fans, Tom Brady fans, even if you're not a Bucs fan, but Bucs fans as well are very, very stressed and excited at the same time, like I am, and hopefully we'll get what we want,
Yeah.
So I was just blabbling about things, but you can say what time you think the game shows will be tomorrow.
I'm not sure what time we'll get started, but I'll send the flyer like I always do, plenty of time ahead. But actually, I have one more thing I want to ask you guys about before we go. Are there is there anyone? Do you guys know if there was ever a rule in the NFL that women could not be referees or coaches on the sidelines? Was there ever a rule against that specifically? Or was it just something that just never came up because no females wanted to do that job? Does any one of you guys know for sure if that was a real thing?
Daniel says there was one.
There was.
Really?
Okay. Interesting.
Huh. That's interesting because we wonder why, there was one. Because, okay, so normally, well, I guess it's a big topic. Women in sport, all that stuff, like
Oh, he's not
over.
sure. He's not sure.
He's not sure. Okay. So it doesn't make sense to have had a rule, right?
Not really.
Because it's kind of like in a chess game.
It's like chess, yeah.
It's like chess, in a way. I mean, you don't have to be a great player, or an actual player, NFL player, to be a referee, right?
No.
So if that's not a requirement, then a woman who's athletic and just can run, on the field while she's being a referee can do the job. Why there haven't been any, or is it any or many in the past? Has there ever been a woman before?
I think the woman that's refereeing in the Super Bowl, I think she's the first female ref, actually.
Yeah. So basically, there is no reason, there's no good reason, unless, I mean, things like, okay, it's men are not used to having a woman there, or women did not apply for the job. I'm not sure. I mean, are there many cases where a lot of women were turned down? They tried to get the job, they didn't, and now we can statistically say, well, you know, they were denied access, so now this is an amazing thing that they get it. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of anything like that. It will be interesting to know. But to me, this is more like chess.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
and that's
Gender doesn't matter.
that's what I was wondering. Like, why is it such a big deal if if a girl became a player and it was actually a real player, that would be noteworthy, right?
Right.
But to be a referee, I mean, if you're making a big deal out of it because she's a girl, that's kind of insulting, I think. Like, it's saying, oh, good job, little girl. You can throw a flag like a guy. You can judge a game like a guy. And it's not really her achievement. It's more of a pat on the head. Good job, little girl. That it's kind of like the thinking process there is weird for me. I mean, this isn't a Jackie Robinson situation, right? Where you weren't allowed to be in the league. And that's what I was trying to figure out. Because if that was the case, which I don't think there was, and I don't remember one, but you never know. Yeah. When I don't know something 100%, I ask the question. But if that wasn't the case, I don't see the big deal here about, oh my God, she's the first woman to. So she's the woman who had enough interest to pursue it and keep going. It's just all these first all the time are I think they're degrading, and I think they're kind of insulting, and it's having the reverse effect. They're trying to. It's supposed to be like a positive message for women. It's actually kind of saying, you know, because there's no physical barrier there. There would be if they were a player, but they're not. So that's what I was curious, actually. It was more of a question about that.
Like, for chess, they shouldn't be. I don't see any reason, any legitimate reason or logical reason why women and men, there should be women's chess and men's chess, because it's not a real sport.
Women,
There's no physical
women
attributes
can.
or
I think women can
right?
enter men's chess.
They can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they've got women's chess as well, and I don't understand that.
No, for chess, no.
But
it's a no-no.
Like weird.
Why?
It's weird.
Why?
So.
I mean.
Anyway, that was my question. Is just they're trying so hard to make history all the time, and the first this, the first that, and it's actually at the end of the day, it's kind of insulting, to be honest with you. So.
Well, it's trendy right now.
I know, but they think they're doing something good, but they're really not. It's kind of like, excuse me, if I was female, I'd be kind of insulted by it. Like, why are you making a big deal out of me being a ref? I'm not wrestling these guys. It's just judging a call on the field. It's of the mind. Why are you making a big deal out of this? And it would almost seem insulting, like, good little girl, good job, good, that kind of thing.
That too.
It's just, really?
No.
I mean, come on. It's just kind of stupid to me. So.
But again, unless she was denied access.
Unless
women
that's.
were denied access
exactly.
in the past, I get it.
Right.
But I don't know if they did. I haven't heard of any cases, again, where lots of women try to do that, and they were like, no, you can't because you're a female. Or there was no rule about that. So anyway, yeah.
It's just everything now is based on being the first this and that, and the more they do it, the more insulting I think it becomes.
Yeah.
It's.
Anyway, so about tomorrow. Any other announcements?
Yeah, so tomorrow I'll post the when the pregame show starts, and we'll do that. So.
And during the game, we're going to do the same like last week, right? Last games.
No.
No.
No. So there's just a pregame and postgame. That's it.
Okay. So pregame, postgame.
All right, guys. Well, go enjoy the NFL Awards show if you can, and look for Brady Hates Saga episode 1. When you get up in the morning, it will be waiting for you. It should be waiting for you. As soon as we get off here, I'm getting to work on it, because
it's already late, but hopefully I can do it because you have a long day tomorrow.
I know, but it's got to be done. It's got to come out. It's got to come out before. So check it out. Lego my ego. Good luck to your team, buddy. Then
it's kind of been like 4 hours.
Yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Thank you for everything tonight. Thank you for all your super chats and being here tonight. Appreciate it. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're going to have a good Super Bowl. Okay? We're going to have an awesome Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes against Tom Brady. Yes. We couldn't have asked for anything better. This is going to be epic. Hell yeah. Enjoy it, guys. We'll talk tomorrow. Good night.